back at Conway Airport today. Going to be doing some ground reference maneuvers. But check out what we have sitting on the ramp today. Got a Pilatus PC-12 and a Beechcraft King Air. Boy, some dandy aircraft. Come along for the ride. Clear! All right, clear left, clear right, don't see anybody. He was having me pull up kind of angled a little bit to kind of keep the wing.
Oh, gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart, so you can see a little bit better.
Yeah. All right, checklist. Conway traffic, Cessna 7003 Golf, taking runway 4 for a west departure. Conway traffic.
Awesome. We'll do a static run up, so
Okay.
hold short and we'll go up to 2,000 RPM, holding the brakes. We're gonna check instruments one more time before we take off.
All right. Verify we got runway 4, 2,000 RPM.
Oil pressure looks good, oil temperature looks good, good. Only thing we have to do now is release the brakes, and then we'll finish the rest of the throttle. And sliding feet down, heels to the floor, don't want to be touching brakes at all.
Airspeed alive. $60. Rotate. Conway traffic, 7003 Golf, turning left crosswind, departure to the west. Conway traffic.
Ooh, I like that call. That was very professional. That ceiling's at 2,000, but that's around this area, so we'll have to keep our eyes open. And I see our road. So by those hangars, there's a road going this way.
Okay.
I'd say about usually over the river, just like for runway 4, the downwind for runway 4. We're going to stay over the river, and we're going to choose this distance.
Okay.
So whatever you start out for this distance has to be on the flip side. So maneuver started, let's go ahead and pull power out, and kind of pitch up, kind of get back in at 90, go to 2,000 RPM. All right, see our road?
Yes.
Okay, starting the maneuver right now. 1,300, a little fast, not bad, we'll hold it, we're still within tolerance. And we're just trying to hold altitude, trim out, whatever you need to do. Now, we're in the downwind, so we can expect speeds to be a little bit higher. So we'll go about 19, which we are, looks good, everything looks great. And you're staying equal distance. We really don't have to worry about much crosswind right now. So we just gotta keep it straight. Looking outside, looking inside, looking at altitude, everything looks fantastic. Usually when the road ends, go ahead and turn left.
Okay.
Watch the altitude, a little pull back, maybe a little bit of more power, whatever you need to do. Watch an airspeed. Airspeed comes first before the altitude, so pitch for the airspeed and then power for the altitude. A little pitch up where you'll yeah, see how you exceeded the airspeed? Always pitch, yep. Pitch for airspeed, power for altitude. There it is.
You want to go the same distance on the other side of the road, right?
Correct. Yep, and so now we know the winds are blowing us this way, so we'll have a little bit of crab angle. Even though if you don't need it, you got to say it, just to show him that you understand the maneuver.
Okay.
Everything looks good. I think we're kind of just skirting perfect right now. Altitude looks good, airspeed looks good. Tell you what, you could actually just give a little pitch up and no power, and it'll trade the airspeed for the altitude. Looking back outside, everything still looks good. And we got our altitude back, kind of get that pitch down. If airspeed comes up, we'll pull a little power out. There it is. Might be battling just a little bit of some headwinds. We'll see what happens. If we need to add power, we can. Watch and airspeed. Altitude, it'll take you longer to get out of that plus or minus 100, right? You got some room, but not that airspeed. There it is. So always get that airspeed back, and then while you're climbing, then take the power out and you won't climb as much. Getting back into, you see you got more tolerance on the altitude. Right. And that's what they're looking for. Airspeed is always king. Always king. Right now you're going about 2,200 RPMs, might be a little too much, because now we're higher than our altitude and a little fast, so definitely less power to kind of get us out of this hole right now. I would even feel comfortable going 19, just kind of getting us closer back to that 13, okay. But still within our airspeed tolerance. We'll just kind of sink below, staying in that 100 range. Looks good. Good equal distance. I love it. This looks good. As soon as that road stops, we'll just kind of make a turn to the left, or we can actually overshoot it a little bit. Okay. Just watch that airspeed. Now, what kind of crab angle are you going to make when you make this turn? Kind of more this way or a little bit more this way?
Need to be a little bit more that way because the wind.
Perfect. I like it. That's what he wants to hear. All right, don't lose altitude now. Just pitch first, and then add the power. So you got your airspeed, start adding power in.
Losing my altitude.
All right, show me that crab angle you were talking about. There it is. Now, if you need to get your altitude back, there's nothing holding you back from going full power. But you'll have to pitch to hold that airspeed, if that makes sense.
Right.
We'll get up, we'll climb it. It technically ends on downwind, so he may choose to bust you on that, or he may choose to see if you finish it, and then if you're in tolerance. That may be what he's looking for. Lucky for us, we got a nice river that kind of gives us our reference point again on what downwind and where it's at. Now we got 13, we'll go right back to 2,000. And we got back tolerance of airspeed. Everything looks great. Making a nice, watch your nose, look outside. Yep, there it is. A little back pressure. Bringing it around. A little quick pitch up for the airspeed, looks good. Take a little juice out of there now that we're level. And that is a pass. Very nice. Okay. the hardest one for me. Turn counter point's harder for others, but it was always S turns for me. Let's go ahead and cycle back 180.
Okay.
Remember that road right there? There's a road perpendicular. It just looks like a big T. And we're going to use that perpendicular road because the S turns, well, I'll just have to show you too.
Okay.
So you'll have your road, and you'll start on the downwind because the winds are blowing this way. And you'll cross it, and you're making a semicircle, cross it, making a semicircle, and at the end, it looks like an S.
Okay.
But the S is, it's like a money sign is what it looks like. The road makes the money sign.
Gotcha.
At least the old school money sign. Let's see, so this road right here, see those trees just by themselves?
Yeah.
The closest ones in a bunch right here. There's a road that runs straight through, and it actually ends at this little roundabout right here, but there's a road that goes right through there, and we'll use that road.
Okay.
But we'll go past it where we can start on the downwind, and we'll start right on the edge of it.
All right.
Actually, it keeps going through here, so we can actually just go through it, past it, come to the right a little bit. And we'll start right over there coming this way.
Okay.
Now the whole point of this is when you come over here and you cross, you need to keep the same distance of this semicircle as over here. But you're having to deal with winds, right? So on this, as soon as we cross that road, it'd be more of a steeper turn because it's blowing you away from this road right here.
Right.
Then when we turn right back in, you're gonna have to extend it out a little bit. Wait for that turn, just a little, or a shallow turn. And you can go ahead and start turning right. All right, so we got our reference point. Altitude, airspeed, everything looks great. We'll kind of level out right now for a second. Get a little bit closer to the edge, give us more room. And now go ahead and start making that turn in. Now the only other thing I was missing to tell you is when you do cross the road, wings have to be completely level and parallel with the road.
Okay.
So you got to time it right. So imagine if we were trying to time this right, you want to quit the turn when the wings are over. So you don't want to roll out too soon or too late. So that would be a little bit more to the right. That would be parallel and perfect. Okay, now we just crossed, the maneuver starts. So you got to have some sort of turn. Now this needs to be a steeper, so I'd go 20. Okay, and just kind of hold an altitude, hold an airspeed. Seeing this distance right here. You got to keep the same semicircle distance on the other side. But that's only this turn. Because now that we're fighting the wind, we're going back this way. It has to be a little bit shallow or we'll roll out too soon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for our wings to be level, you have to time it perfectly. So just a little bit shallower. There you go. Just a little bit shallower. And then you can just, it's all just by the eye. All just by the eye. This looks phenomenal for the first one though. This looks so good. Rolling out on the money. Gotta start that turn now. Shallow, because we're still fighting the wind, right?
Right.
Oh, too much. We went like
Go about 10, 5.
5, 10, yeah, maybe. Just however you get enough out here. It's all by the eye. I love how you're pulling that power out for the altitude, but you're keeping the airspeed with the pitch. Looks so good. Now that we're getting into this range where we're being pushed back in, it's a little bit of a steeper turn and we won't be able to roll out in time. But watch your pitch down. Oh, we could lose a little altitude. I take it back, but watch your power out, airspeed. And you just got to time it perfectly. Watch the airspeed. The maneuver's about to be finished. And roll out. Oh, that was so good. That was a pass on your first one. Awesome. That was really good. You made that look easy. I got people just like jamming in the throttle, like, oh, oh, oh. I'm like, take it easy on the plane. Like, they're freaking out about altitude. They're freaking out about airspeed. Perfect. Now that you understand every maneuver, right? So we got to go with the winds, but you're going to have to time it. So if you're going to do an S-turn, you got to look for a road that's perpendicular to the wind. But on a rectangular course, it's just like a runway. We want to go with the wind, but always, every single one of them starts with a downwind. Turn around a point, just start on the downwind and find a reference point. I'd always suggest pick the reference point on your left side so you can see it better.
Right.
All right, let's go back to Conway.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and start that sweep in. And if you can do multitasking, you go ahead and let them know we're joining left downwind right now.
Conway traffic, Cessna 7003 Golf, joining the left downwind for runway 4, Conway traffic.
All right, let's get over this river, on top of it, parallel with it. Keep it coming in. And go ahead and start that left base and give a call.
Conway traffic, Cessna 7003 Golf, left base for runway 4, Conway traffic.
All right. We're going to try and roll out as soon as we can, perpendicular to it, and then we're going to try and get that 20 degrees notch of flaps in. All right. Now we can go ahead and start to final in.
Conway traffic, Cessna 7003 Golf, turning final, runway 4, Conway traffic.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll see. I'm going to let you bring it in because it's right down the pipe and it's a beautiful day. A little less power now. We got 2 white lights. Let's go 15 again. 15 and a nice descent in. Find a bug on the windshield and take it. Find a spot on the runway, bug on the windshield and bring it in. And don't lose your mark. Keep it coming in. If you feel like you're getting low, add the power. Power for the altitude. If you feel like you're getting high, take the power out. Power for altitude. And just make sure that your pitch is where it needs to be. All right, getting a little bit of a sink rate. We'll add a little power, but don't lose your mark on the windshield on the runway. Hold this power in just a little bit more. Keep that bug on that runway all the way. All the way, don't lose it. All right, now you take a little power out so your bug doesn't get above your spot. And maybe a little too much power out. And a little out. And a little out. Keep that nose down. We don't want to lose energy. Yeah. All right, power's out. We're going to try and make this next taxiway. We're going to make sure our props don't touch the ground, holding it back a little bit. Perfect. Go ahead and keep it coming. We got 2 dashed yellow lines facing us, so that means we can cross it. If it's too solid, we can't, but we're going to try and get off as fast as we can so we can get off the runway safety area. And our tail has to completely cross this hold short line. And then when we do, we're going to come to a stop and let everybody know we're clear of the runway off at Charlie. In the black.
Okay. Conway traffic, Cessna 7003 Golf, clear runway at Charlie. Conway traffic.
Beautiful. All right, now we're going to do the after landing checklist.
Okay.
We want to line the T up with the struts because that's how they tie it down. Nose wheel on the front part of the T. And bingo. All right, and securing checklist. This should be the next page.